If you are tired of sounding like a textbook when you speak, you will soon master the missing word hack that makes native English speakers sound effortless instead of formal. Look at me here. Stiff, robotic, perfectly grammatical yet completely awkward. This happens to so many language learners. But once you solve this mystery, you will instantly sound relaxed and conversational. I call it the case of the vanishing pronouns. I arrived at Iron Galaxy Gym to study Earth's physical culture. My mission was to observe humans engaging in repetitive heavy lifting, a fascinating cultural ritual. I approached a local resident who was occupying the seated leg press machine. I deployed my most pristine, grammatically flawless English. After all, I had studied the textbook rules extensively, and I assumed a formal inquiry would yield the best possible result for my research. Excuse me, are you currently utilizing this apparatus for your physical exertion?
What? I'm doing sets, lady.
She simply put her headphones back on. I sounded like a malfunctioning android. My perfect grammar was actually ruining my social integration. Instead of engaging in a friendly exchange, I had alienated my subject. I needed to figure out what was wrong with my conversational approach before my field study collapsed completely. I retreated to the hydration station to analyze my audio log. It was time to investigate. I tuned my attention back to Brenda, my first unhelpful witness, who was now talking to her workout partner across the gym floor.
Looks heavy. Need a spot?
Wait, looks heavy? Need a spot? Where are the subjects? Where are the helper verbs? Her sentences were entirely missing their foundational elements. Aha! A clue! I immediately scanned the dumbbell rack for another witness to confirm the pattern. A young human named Toby was placing a heavy metal disc onto a bar.
You done with that bench? Gotta run soon.
He did it too. You done with that? Instead of, are you done? The grammatical structure was completely chopped off at the front. The words were simply gone. I analyzed these audio clues. Looks heavy instead of it looks heavy, gotta run instead of I have got to run. The pattern was undeniable. In casual settings, native English speakers intentionally delete the beginning of their sentences. They bypass the rigid academic rules entirely to prioritize speed and comfort. The entire mystery hinged on this one incredibly common speaking habit. Earth's language scientists actually have a classified name for this missing word weapon: conversational ellipsis. My observations overflowed with daily examples of this phenomenon. Sounds good instead of that sounds good. Makes sense instead of that makes sense. Hope so instead of I hope so. Be right back instead of I will be right back. The front of the sentence simply vanishes into thin air, and no one seems to mind. In fact, they prefer it this way. This shortcut applies heavily to questions too. Ready to go? Instead of are you ready to go? See that? Instead of did you see that? Want some water? Instead of do you want some water? The missing words are treated as implied context. By stripping away the formalities, the speaker creates a sense of closeness and shared understanding with their conversational partner. But my investigation uncovered a massive pitfall. Many learners realize English speakers drop words, so they try dropping them in the middle of a sentence. They say things like, I think is good instead of I think it is good. That just sounds like a mistake to the listener's ear. Conversational ellipsis is not a license to randomly delete words wherever you feel like it. Conversational ellipsis only operates at the very beginning of the sentence. Think of it as a front-chopping mechanism. Furthermore, you cannot drop unrecoverable subjects. You cannot drop he or she unless you were just explicitly talking about them a moment ago. The listener has to intuitively know the missing word, or the entire meaning of your sentence will completely collapse into confusion. And remember, this shortcut is strictly for casual atmospheres, like a gym session or a friendly chat with peers. When I accidentally dropped a 50-pound kettlebell on the gym manager's toe, I certainly did not say, "Sorry, dropped it." I used my full formal apology protocol. Context is absolutely everything when you are deciding whether to chop off the front of your sentences. I had the formula, but before I could test it on a hostile gym goer, I had to memorize the chopping block rule. Let us test this new framework together. I want you to translate this rigid textbook phrase into casual gym English. The phrase is, "Are you going to the locker room?" Which words do we chop off the front to sound perfectly natural? Think about the rule we just uncovered. What is the most obvious part that we can safely remove? Exactly right. We drop the "are you." The relaxed version is simply going to the locker room. Try one more with me. Turn "I have got to leave" into a casual phrase. Yes, drop the "I have," and you get the effortless "got to leave," or even "gotta leave." You are already sounding vastly more natural than my initial gym attempt. With the mystery solved, I approached the dumbbell area to test my discovery. I needed a padded mat that Toby was standing near. I relaxed my posture, embraced the casual vibes, and spoke. "You using this?"
Nah, all yours.
Success. Seamless social integration achieved. I didn't sound like a textbook, and I didn't get a weird stare. Go test this missing word hack on an earthling today. Start chopping off those obvious starting pronouns and see how naturally the conversation flows. My ongoing investigation into human communication continues soon, so join the research team and hit subscribe.